So if you're struggling with tarot questions, like what do I actually ask? This is my tarot question of the day for you to consider. All right, so if you are looking to make a decision, and it could be, do I do this or that? Split the question in two. What I find is I'll see people where, let's say for example, Jane wants to know whether or not she should stay in her job or whether or not she should pursue her side hustle full time, for example. See people where they'll go, should I stay in my job or continue or pursue my side hustle? How do you know if the cards are answering to be in the job or the side hustle? Because remember, unless you're using downloading from Spirit, for example, and you're not just reading the cards and making use of intuition, you're not going to know the difference. So instead, I use leading questions. So I want to know that when I'm asking a question, the cards are going to answer the question I asked. So I would do, what do I need to know about whether or not it would be wise to pursue the side hustle full time? Then we'll get the answer. Then I would do, what do we need to know about whether or not it'd be wise to stay in my role, for example. Then you get to know the answer, and then you know that the cards are answering the question you asked, not you trying to fill the gaps. Now, you could argue intuition will give you the answer, but remember, the intuition helps us discern the answer, but we have to know exactly the question in order for our intuition to tell us, if you know what I mean. Now, bearing in mind, this is for people who are reading the tarot infrastructure along with intuition. So I always say to people, there are people who are just intuitive readers, and there are people who download message, or there are people who want to know the infrastructure and the whole ins and outs of the cards, and they want to use that structure to give their intuition a voice, so they can come up with the answer and have the vocabulary to take what we're feeling and making it an extensive answer, if you get what I mean. So try that. Instead of trying to figure out what it's trying to say, ask a direct question. In life, if we ask a direct question, we're doing it because we want a specific answer. Don't leave it up to trying to figure out what it is. The better the question, the better the answer. So crap in, crap out. Think about it like that. All right, try that. Let me know how you go. And don't forget to do all the things to see more of my face. All right, take care.